welcome to the Off Topic Podcast, Episode 2, featuring Dinosaur Neil. In this episode, we all go over working at grocery stores and how much we either dislike them or like them. So why don't you sit down and have a listen and enjoy.
Here comes
Diplomatic community.
A game of Mary Bang Kill.
God damn it, Joel.
If you were to drink them separately, they're awful.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
And we're off. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2. We're taking number 2 tonight.
Yep.
Off topic. Here with my dear friend since preschool. I've known you since preschool.
No, again, kindergarten. I didn't go to preschool.
You didn't go to preschool.
I told you last time I was too smart for preschool. I was
Too
in
smart for
kindergarten.
this is the man. Too smart for too good for preschool.
Yep, I'm Troy to the Max Extreme, everybody. Here again with my best friend Joel Thomason since kindergarten.
Oh, well, whatever you say. Agree to disagree.
And we're being joined here tonight with, he's actually my brother. He's been my brother all my life.
Since preschool. I've been his brother since preschool.
Yep, and it's Dinosaur Neil, everybody.
It's Dinosaur Neil.
Wouldn't he be Dinosaur Neil to the Max Extreme?
Dinosaur Neil to the... No, it's just Dinosaur Neil.
No, actually, Troy to the Max Extreme is just my first name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's been your whole name this whole time. You never told me.
Well, I shorten it just for being cordial reasons, you know.
Okay, well, at
Doesn't
least
quite-
you're cordial.
Doesn't quite all fit on an invitation.
And they
Such,
say
no.
chivalry's dead.
Yeah, well,
He
I
still
try to
don't-
be.
He doesn't hold the door for ladies, but darn, he's got a long
No
name.
way, men and women are supposed to be equal nowadays.
It's true. They want to
That's
vote.
right.
Yeah, they want to vote and drive, which they shouldn't. And tonight's brew I picked out is a Platinum Blonde Doppelbock.
Oh, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I'm
It
digging
is.
it.
It's a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. I had my mouth up to it and was trying to choke it down, you know.
Yes.
And okay, well, let's not take this homosexually or anything.
Well, we were doing gay jokes on the last show anyway, so
Oh,
Yeah, it's
all
okay.
right. Well,
Go ahead and talk bad about everything.
oh, gee. Well, it's good. It's tasty. I wasn't sure at first, just from the initial whiff, but I like it. It's smooth. I like the smoothness of it. Like, it goes down. Usually I have to choke it down. I'm not a big beer drinker, but
it's very akin to a Belgian-style beer, which is usually pretty creamy, pretty smooth, and it's pretty good alcohol content. It's almost 8% a bottle, so
Yeah, it's pretty good.
and it only
now that you say that, you can tell.
Neil's officially drunk.
It only comes in a 4-pack because a 4-pack is pretty much all you need. So I brought 2.
Just to
and
cement it over.
And away we go.
Yeah.
we go.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of booze, Neil, you said you're not an avid beer drinker. What do you usually
Drink a
gravitate?
choice. Drink a choice is throwing it up right now. Gin and tonic with cucumber.
Ooh, cucumber's good.
You know that I had one last summer, and it was the most refreshing drink ever. On a nice hot day, the cucumber really takes the bite out of the both the gin and the tonic, both of which. If you were to drink them separately, they're awful. Combine them together, and you've got yourself a mighty fine sip and drink.
You got yourself a glass of magic.
You got yourself a glass of magic. Yeah.
I'd say gin and tonic is like the lemonade of alcohol.
I would have to agree with
It's
you.
just like a good.
I would say vodka lemonades might be up there, but
ballpark, yeah, just around there, in that area.
but
you
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. You know, that nice summertime drink.
Yes, they're very good. I went to an after party after the wrestling show I was at, and I ordered a Long Island iced tea, and I'm pretty sure all the bartender did was just pour some vodka and some iced tea.
Oh, that's
It's
not even
really
a Long
lazy.
Island iced tea.
Yeah, it's really
that's just
lazy.
Vodka
I mean,
and iced tea.
yeah, I mean, it was $4. It was bullshit.
That sounds like bullshit.
It does.
That's
You know,
bullshit.
it's like those Jeremiah Weed cans of vodka tea or whatever they have.
Oh my God, those
absolutely pathetic.
They are disgusting.
They are awful.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
When I bought one of those, and it was absolutely disgusting. I cracked it open, took one sip, and I'm like, I got a whole silo of this to drink still.
They come in the biggest cans so they can at least get their money's worth out of you buying them.
It's just they know it's probably awful. It's just to do you right in the butt because you bought this awful drink. It's like, now you got to drink all this. You're not going to waste it. I know you because you're drunk.
That's why you bought this $1.50 can of Jeremiah weed.
Oh, one time I got like one of those Arnold Palmer like lemonade iced tea, and I had it, and I was like, it's okay, but I just wish I had one or the other.
Well, our other brother Blake, he started drinking sweet tea vodka with Mike's Hard Lemonade, and he says it tastes awesome.
Really?
Like, actually, he was hiding them in his dresser drawer, so Mom couldn't get to him.
Oh, man, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Long Island iced teas, though, there's spots in Dubuque, Iowa, where they're fantastic mining company in Dubuque, Iowa makes
So good.
great Long Island iced teas. It's like you look making them at the bar, and they've got like 3 bottles in one hand and 3 bottles in the other, and they're all pouring them in and splash of Coke for color, and you got yourself a magical drink. Absolutely wonderful.
When I was going to Platteville, they used to make enormous buckets of it. Like, you don't order this unless you want to get wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I think it was like $4 or something, and it was like, oh my god. Like, how do you expect people to drive home after this?
They were dangerously good, too. Like, the ones in Platteville, I went up with you and drank at the bars in Platteville.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. They were... it was probably the tastiest Long Island iced tea I've ever had, and it was just at some podunk bar who served them in big red freaking Solo cups, and they were amazing. Like, I could not get enough of them.
It doesn't taste like there's any alcohol in it whatsoever, and little known fact, it's all alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they just had a secret mix they all just threw in a jug or whatever.
Yeah, it's amazing how what they can do with alcohol, being as individually all of those have such a bite that you would never drink them individually, but you mix them all together and it's the smoothest, sweetest, most dangerous drink you could ever. Maybe that was the plan, though. Maybe that was Anheuser-Busch was like, I'm the master of all things alcohol, and was like, I'm going to make all of these, sell them to different people, and, we'll get everyone drunk, even though, I doubt Anheuser-Busch.
As they sit in their ivory tower and judge us. Yeah.
Well, I want to somewhat disagree with you on that, because do you remember the Long Island iced tea party that I tried to throw?
I was actually going to bring that up, not just because we were talking about delicious iced teas, and I wanted to flip it over on its head.
That was it was a fun party, but it ended up terribly for so many people. Like,
yeah,
our Coach Havens.
Coach Haven.
Probably future guest, I would say.
Yeah,
Havens bomb.
Havens bomb, drop the elbow.
So I was the bartender that night, and I was trying to make the perfect Long Island iced tea, but all I did was buy just shit, like cheap rail, like ingredients. Like they had so much bite to them, they were just disgusting. And even mixing all those together to try to make it, oh my god, it was gross. But I would give him all my failures,
nice.
And oh my god, he halfway through the night, he was already just curling up by the toilet, just like defeated.
That is terrible.
It is. Oh, it was.
I'm sure they were the last few were probably just fine to him. I'm sure he couldn't taste the difference, but
I probably couldn't. I was probably wasted by then.
Oh
too.
yeah, I like that you went to the bar across the street to try to get a recipe, and they were like, "No, we don't make them here. Get out."
Yeah, what the hell was that? Jeez.
Oh, Mike, your cans of drinks.
He was like, I think really he just didn't want to like stop talking to his friend that also came into the bar, because it was just the bartender and a friend that he was talking to, and we came in and was like, hey, can you make us a Long Island iced tea? No, we don't make them here. And that's like actually his voice.
I was just being sarcastic. That's great though.
Yeah, but it's like I wish I would have liked. I'm actually kind of glad I don't like the bar that I live right across the street from, because I would be just a deadbeat broke drunk.
Yeah,
So
you'd be that bar fly from The Simpsons.
And every time I've gone there, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that just casually drinks there.
no, it's
Ever.
there because they're
It's-
drinking their
yeah.
pain away.
And no one's smiling. It's one of those.
No.
No one is happy being there. They just have to be there.
Yeah, it's like that one bar that you walk in and everyone turns around and looks at you, and it's like, fuck, I don't want to be here.
Why did I pick this place?
But they do make good pizza. Like, I gotta give them that. I order pizza from them every now and then, and it's pretty good.
The thing about bar pizza is, though, when do you get you don't just get the pizza without having the few drinks there. So, for instance, the VFW, your spot will make you the best pizza ever, and it's just a Tombstone pizza.
Well, yeah. But they actually make the pizzas at Dillon's, and I've had them sober, and I'm saying like they make a pretty good pizza,
Fair.
and they've got a very good variety. So if you're going to Galena, Illinois, go to Dillon's, get their pizza. It's good. They don't have anything on tap. People are going to look at you when you walk in. Just order a pizza, get it, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Only the pizza, not the drinks.
Unless you want to pay like $3 for a bottle of beer, which I go to the VFW, which I pay $1 a glass of beer.
Oh, God. I love the VFW so much.
Yeah. People look at you weird when you say, what's your favorite bar? And you're like, well, I go to the VFW. And you're like, oh, did you go to like Iraq or something? No.
You're not old enough to have been in Vietnam.
It's like, I don't know. I like going in. It's like a hole-in-the-wall kind of bar. It's not really anything special. They haven't updated it since the 1960s. It's just, I don't know.
I think that's the benefit of it, though. I mean, if you go to, I guess if you're in Galena, you go to, like, Gobby's or MB or something, you're going to run into those, the young bucks who are just, out to party, and really nobody wants to party with those people. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get everything you want at the VFW. I mean, you just sit down. There's that nice table in the back that usually nobody's at.
Yeah, and they just put in slot machines.
And they just put in slot machines.
Yeah, and
You
they
lose
actually
your money.
Yeah, they actually pay out there too if you win.
Well, that's the whole thing with gambling. Sometimes you win, most of the times you don't.
Gotta
Yeah.
know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, let's change the subject up a
Let's
little
get
bit.
off topic.
Oh,
Name of the show! Name of the show! Name of the show!
that is going to be deafening for anyone.
Oh, yeah.
I just dumb that down in post.
I just saw your computer spike tremendously.
So we'll just get down to the nitty-gritty.
So anyway, Neil, have you seen anything good lately, or been playing anything good?
Let's see. I guess more or less playing anything good. The internet that we are quote-unquote borrowing from here hasn't been working for a few days. So we've been me and my girlfriend who live in this fine city of Dubuque. We've been watching a lot of X-Files.
Yeah.
Bringing it back the 90s. The X-Files were great. So we've been watching that. It's been good. As far as new releases, no, I haven't really seen anything very recently. I've been mostly kind of just sitting around playing some video games. Was playing some Star Wars Force Unleashed today, the first one.
Oh God, we were geeking out so hard when I got here.
Yeah, we were geeking out on how awesome uncompressed lightsaber crystals were in your lightsaber and gay stuff like that. But
I swear, if any of you people that are listening to this actually saw the conversation me and Neil had, you would probably think we were the biggest fucking geeks in the history of the world.
Yeah.
That we're geeking out because we can turn our lightsabers black.
yeah, we were like, oh, the black lightsaber's like the coolest thing ever. And have you seen a sweet Sith robe? Like, oh man, it's stuff like that. But I am so happy that I can be like that, just the way I want to be. I don't give a damn.
And I pretty much think that's our demographic anyway.
Yeah,
So,
that's mostly what we've got to work with.
I'm
here.
pretty sure that more than half our audience just went, "Oh, black lightsaber crystal."
yeah, they're half chubbing
And I was
up.
like,
Oh,
fuck you.
yeah, I know. They're totally rock
There's
solid at the base.
there's officially like 20 people turning off our podcast and now YouTubing black crystal cheats on YouTube.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I guess on the same subject, I played Force Unleashed 2, which came out a few years after. Better mechanics, solid game mechanics. Storyline was absolutely awful. They put it together just because they were like, we made him do this cool new move in the game. But instead of, bringing out like an expansion, they just made a whole new game. And it was, holy cats.
Well, like
no.
the thing I loved about the first one was that you go to a bunch of different planets. Like you go to like what is it, like Fallujah or
yeah,
whatever?
you go to Fallujah and you go to
Fallujah
Kashyyyk.
and Kashyyyk. Yeah, you go to all these different planets, and you get kind of an idea of like the
whole Star Wars
the galaxy.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in the second one, I think you go to one planet and then you're on a spaceship.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
You were absolutely correct. The environments aren't,
Like I think you
stellar.
fight like an enormous rancor, and that's like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're on a spaceship the rest of the time. It's like you don't even know what the rest of the Star Wars galaxy looks like. It's pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah, they gave up. I'm going to say they gave up.
Yeah. Oh, you can hold 2 lightsabers. That's cool. That's about it.
Yeah. Wow. Anyone can hold 2 lightsabers.
Yep.
Duh. Queers.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Well, you brought up the X-Files. You've been watching the X-Files. Have you made it all the way through it yet?
We are on middle of season 6 right now. There are 9 seasons, 2 films to go along. There was a film in between the 5th and 6th season, I think. Fight the Future. Good movie. Good movie. It allows you to watch X-Files without having watched X-Files. Like, It's a major benefit, and it's cool if you've watched everything up till then, but you don't have to. It's just neat. And then on and on, we've been watching it, and they've been the episodes, have been really good. I just know there's the inevitable segment where Mulder, Agent Mulder, who's like the coolest guy ever, isn't on the show anymore, replaced by the T-1000 Robert Patrick from Terminator 2. But
Oh yes.
there's
nothing wrong with Robert Patrick though.
there really isn't, and I haven't actually seen any episodes with him in it, so I think I'll be able to deal. So
Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of X-Files. I watched the first season and the half of the second season. And I mean, it was good. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's on Netflix and you see there's like over 200 episodes and you're just like,
oh shit.
this is
And
gonna
the
be...
thing about that is, they don't make TV shows like they used to. I mean, if you
No.
watch Walking Dead, you get 6 episodes. They take like a 4-month break, and then they come back with another 6 episodes. X-Files is 24 episodes a season that are all an hour long.
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore. Like, these guys pumped out episodes because they could do it. And now you get, half of that. Barely.
Well, like X-Files is like one of the first TV shows to actually start having a continuing storyline.
It's true.
Like,
Everything other than that
everything
was like-
everything beyond that was just like we need one story per episode so people keep tuning in. But I heard like X-Files was more like because it was like I can't remember where I heard it, but like Gillian Anderson, like Scully, she got pregnant or something, so she had to take a bunch of time off. And so they just decided to say that she got abducted by aliens, but then they turned that into a continuing storyline throughout the whole series.
Yeah, that's true. I watched the special features on Fight the Future, and they had brought that up, that she did get pregnant in, the first season. It was really close to the beginning of the show, so they changed the entire scope of the show just around her to keep her in it and keep everything going. And Chris Carter, the guy who did it, is, the coolest guy ever because he was able to pull everything together from that.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that before.
Yeah, it's cool. That something like that can make something so revolutionary. I mean, you think of TV shows nowadays. I can't think of too many written TV shows where there's not a continuing storyline nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like Walking Dead. You have to see every episode.
Yeah.
There's so many nowadays. So the fact that just because Gillian Anderson got pregnant just changed the entire scope of television.
That's true. Good job for knocking her up, whoever did it.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because now there's some comic company that is, I can't remember what it is. I want to say it's IDW or Dark Horse or something. Anyway, they're doing a season 10 of X-Files, and they're continuing where the series left off. So I was wondering if either one of you two actually saw the ending of X-Files to see if it actually ended cleanly.
Apparently it didn't. I follow them on Facebook, and there's some posts, and they had some question on there, and I read some of the comments, and there's one segment of the storyline or the story arc which is the main story arc that kind of gets touched on from season to season that never gets resolved. And that would be cool if they did that. It had to do with the black tar, black oil substance that the aliens and stuff use. But apparently that was never concluded. Now I hope the comments were right in that. I'm just pulling it from hearsay, not actually knowing.
All right, we got a refreshment here.
Refreshments.
We refreshed ourselves.
And you know what I want to do right now? I want to go on a little rant about grocery stores.
Oh,
Grocery
fucking
stores.
grocery stores.
The grocery stores.
Yeah, I know we've all worked at one. We all worked at the Elizabeth Market at different times. Well, you two worked there at the same time.
Yeah,
And I
you didn't
worked
work. You
with
didn't work there.
I
when
was actually the
fucking-
in-betweener.
you
Oh,
didn't-
yeah,
I
yeah.
worked with Troy and I worked with Joel.
Yes.
Not simultaneously, but all there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me just give you a brief history lesson on how grocery stores... It's not just a history lesson. It's how grocery stores work.
School us.
All right. A grocery store gets in items from a warehouse. And a warehouse is essentially a massive store where they have a finite amount of items, which a single store from... Well, many stores from a district can order from, which they can sell it to a consumer. Are we still following?
We're followed.
Very good.
I feel like I'm in college right now.
Well, I don't know if people know this, but we don't just get a bounty truck and it just delivers all the bounty, or the Hunt's tomatoes and it doesn't delivers all the Hunt's tomatoes. Like, we get one truck in, well, depending on what kind of store you're at. If you were at a smaller grocery store, I think we got a truck in once a week.
Well, yeah, essentially there was the bread guy, and then there was sometimes like a chip guy, but
Those are separate vendors. I'm talking about your main store deliveries. Like, I think the one in Elizabeth
we had one truck.
Yeah, we had one truck.
had one truck once a week.
Yeah, one
And
truck.
I work at a store now that gets a delivery 3 times a week. It's, I mean, it's not at the worst store. It could be like a frickin' Whole Foods in the middle of like Chicago. That would totally
Could
suck.
be an ultra food.
Walmart gets like one like every day. Because I remember when I'd walk in there when it's like super, because they get those like super fucking late, like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I'm thinking like every time when I lived in Galena and I was like hungover or like just drunk and want to get something to eat, they'd always have pallets laying. I'm like, do you get deliveries every fucking day?
Yeah.
I think they have the traffic to support that, but continue.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I wish everybody knew like how a grocery store worked, because it is fucking annoying when customers come in and request some shit. Like, that's like impossible to get, or just retarded just to get. Like, oh, I want to get this meat-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, lactose-free, wheat, germ-free, meatless chicken strips in. Like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get those in, because you know what? You're not even going to come in and get it and buy them. You're an idiot.
You can't. Well, as much as like we want to support the individualism of people, shit sometimes is just way too specific, and that's almost for any kind of store. Sometimes it's just awful, but grocery stores can be
Especially at the Elizabeth Market. Because I remember Joe used to do this stupid shit all the time. Where he'd be like, well, someone came in and they said we don't get enough chocolate milk. So I got some chocolate milk today. I got a pallet of that. Well, not a pallet. We got like, I got like a few crates of chocolate milk. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I put it out. Sits there. Probably all of it but 2 of them go bad. And then he's like, why don't you sell the chocolate milk? I was like, it's not my job to sell the chocolate milk. It's my job to check out someone who's buying the chocolate milk.
I guess what he didn't understand. Okay, prefacing. Joe O'Rourke bought the grocery store in Elizabeth.
He's a
and
piece
drove
of
it-
shit.
He's a piece of shit who drove that store into the fucking ground. Okay, I quit. As a matter of fact, it's still not open. To my knowledge, that
No.
place is still vacant.
Yeah.
No.
Full of rotting fucking groceries because of this guy. Now, my dad was fired from there. Let go.
Yeah.
I quit. My Aunt Susie quit. Joel quit. We all quit because this guy is a fucking idiot.
I want to just add that I left before Joe Rourke took over.
You're a fucking asshole, by the way, you piece of shit.
But he didn't understand anything. He's like, I've lived in a grocery store my whole life. And he didn't understand that grocery stores aren't retail outlets. You don't have to try to convince somebody to buy fucking chocolate milk because chocolate milk is by taste and you can't just do that. So what an idiot.
We are there to like give people shit they need, not shit they want.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time we didn't sell something, it was always because we weren't trying hard enough.
Exactly.
We're not supposed to try. We're supposed to let them buy the shit.
Exactly.
We're not going to say, "Oh, you want this 2% milk? Come over here. Let me show you this chocolate milk." It's very wonderful.
I know you only can tolerate 2% milk, but
Yes.
try this whole milk instead because it's on sale.
We're not fucking car dealers for milk. We're not going to fucking put people in front of like, okay, well, I know. Well, I see your eye in that golden Guernsey right there. I mean, it's a good product. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good product. But you seem like you want something that's a little more high class. Let me take you over to this fucking eco-free bullshit. Let me take a little look at this. It's a little more pricey, but I think for you and your family, it's gonna go just right, just fine. We don't do shit like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Grocery stores aren't like that. Yeah. This guy, he pretty much ruined the place, and it was terrible. And, the people knew it.
The fucking asshole got drunk every goddamn night.
Story. I got a story.
I got a story, too.
Oh, shit. You probably have more than I do. But I'll tell you two simultaneously. One kind of will follow the other, and you'll know why. I was opening one Sunday. And you'll know that every Sunday at this grocery store establishment, we got the Sunday paper.
The Sunday paper was a bitch.
The Sunday paper was heavy, and there was a lot of them.
And you had to put the inserts in.
And
too.
we had to put the inserts in. Now, I pull up to go to work, and at this point, I'm not like, I don't own the place or I don't have a key, so I just can't let myself in.
Yeah, you show up like 5 minutes before it opens.
I show up 5 minutes before it opens, to get everything going. I try and open the door, and it doesn't open. I sit there outside for half an hour, and I wanted to sell the papers sitting outside in the winter because people wanted them, and I didn't know what to do because the store wasn't open, and I didn't know why. So I sat there apologizing to people because I couldn't give them their paper. As a matter of fact, I did give someone their paper because they handed me cash because I was like, I don't know what to do. So eventually, Joe shows up and unlocks the door and apologizes that he slept in. And then that was how the day went. That was bullshit. Now, I show up 5 minutes late for work once because I legitimately slept in. And he reads me the riot act. So, I leave a note in his office.
Best note in the world, by the way. I read this.
It was pretty much, he had given me grief about mopping the floor. And then he brought up, hey, you don't seem like you like working here. And then I was like, well, because I needed the job, I was like, no, I'm working here. I just don't, it's just kind of been an off day. One of those days. That was a lie. I wrote him a letter probably the next week saying, you were correct. I hate working for you, Joe. I quit. Have a nice day, smiley face, and I never saw him again. That's how my grocery store experience ended.
That was the best day ever.
And my cousin, who worked there at the time, saw it and chuckled. Joel saw it and chuckled.
Oh, God, it was so good. He was such a... Okay, here's my story. Well, actually, your story brings up another story. I don't want to bore people with how Joel O'Rourke is a dick stories, but I don't know which one to pick. I'm just going to do one. I'll do the Sunday paper thing. I did that. So like we had this whole thing where like I think it must have been after you left. He was doing this thing where he was like, well, since the Sunday paper is so big and we need to get them put together and out to the people, then I'm going to open the store like 15 minutes earlier on Sundays. So I was like, whatever. It's your store. You're the boss, whatever. So I show up on time. I do what I'm told to do, but when I get there, fucking people start, well, like the first thing I had to do was I had to do a bunch of shit. And then the store opened, I didn't have all the papers put together. So I was doing, like, it's not too hard to put them together. So what I was doing was I was putting them together as they were buying them, and then I was handing them to the people. They weren't complaining. They were like, thank you for my paper. Joe comes out, what are you doing putting these papers together? And I'm like, they are not complaining. They're getting their paper, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not. It looks blah blah blah. Like, you came in drunk how many fucking times? These people will come, like, literally, this will be my day. My day will start out with Joe bitching about how I'm not doing a good enough job, and then the rest of the day is people coming in talking about how Joe is a shitty owner. So I was like, who am I going to believe? You, who gets drunk, or the people who come in, who see that I'm a nice guy, that I do my job? Okay, I'm probably boring people right now, but it's just, I fucking hated working at the grocery store because of that asshole.
Man, you guys have a lot more malice than I thought.
Yeah,
I thought I was the one who had a lot
You
of
have
problems.
no idea. I mean, you tell stories about working at the Pig, and they do suck, but you did not work under Joe. Hey, Joe made me crawl into a dumpster and get a box for a coin counter because it wasn't working and he wanted to return it.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Joe was such a piece of shit. Single-handedly responsible for shutting that place down. But
Fuck Joe.
Well,
Yes.
it sounded like it would have crashed anyway,
Yeah,
which it did.
okay, it was bad, and it wasn't, and we had really nothing to do with it. He ruined it. But enough steam about this guy. But I would say that the grocery store experience, and I would have to say I was there for 2.5 years ish, and the people who owned it were great, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice job. I find my jobs to be like, it's who I'm working with that's really important to me, not necessarily what I'm doing.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I worked at the Elizabeth Market when it was open. Mary and Jocelyn owned it. I worked there for 2 years before I went off to college, and now I've worked at the Pig I just started my 5th year there in February.
Congratulations.
Well, it's not like I need a fucking trophy or anything. But I've had a bunch of different positions there, and I'm the dairy frozen manager there now. And so, like, a lot of stuff I'm going to relate to is, like, being the dairy frozen manager. Like, let's go back to, like, how a grocery store works. So anyway, the Pig gets a truck 3 times a week. And so we are constantly restocking stuff and going out and scanning everything and making orders and what have you. And I don't know if regular people know this, but like each grocery store chain has their own separate warehouse. Like the Pig doesn't have the same grocery store warehouse as the Elizabeth Market did, or that Hy-Vee does, or that Walmart does. Each grocery store has a finite their own warehouse, which is a finite number of items. So I hate it when people come in and say, "Oh, why don't you have this kind of why don't you have like fucking boysenberry pineapple yogurt? Hy-Vee does." And I'm like, "Yeah, Hy-Vee does because they order it from their own warehouse. I don't have it because it don't sell for shit. Like I'm not gonna I'm not gonna special order this one in so you could be like." Oh, I found it cheaper at Hy-Vee because their warehouse is like thousands of miles closer than our warehouse, and so they can. Which also pisses me off because everyone gives a shit like about how high grocery costs are and like what the price of everything
Fucking hate
is.
that shit too. If you like the price so much, go buy it there.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
And it's bullshit because there's so many factors that go into that. One, it comes from different warehouses, obviously, and every warehouse gets different deals from separate vendors, such as Hunt's Tomatoes or Dean's Ice Cream, because they pay that warehouse to be like, hey, I'll give you a certain deal if you put so many slots of whatever in a warehouse. And so you put that on your grocery store shelves, and everyone's like, oh, okay, I'll do that if you're going to give me a couple grand, to face this stuff out. Which is whatever. That's business. Whatever.
It's capitalism.
There you go, America.
America. And I'm going to have to follow this up
comes.
closely. Here it comes. The Soviet Union had it right. Joseph Stalin was like, hey, I'll give each family a pound of food, and that's what you're living off of because I say that's what you're living off of. In a perfect society, communism is the best way to go. But however, then you kill 1 million Polish people, and then you're the bad guy. But people I don't like to bash on older folks because they're they've done all this and they've lived life and all that. But, when you complain about the price of bread being $1.87 and not a nickel a loaf, I mean, you're like, come on.
Well, I know. And a lot of shit is that, a grocery store is essentially like a congregation. Or a congregation of people.
That's really attractive.
They... It's a place where everyone from the community comes because everybody needs to buy groceries. Everyone needs. So it's a meeting place for a ton of people. And I get that. Old people don't get out much. A lot of their friends are dead. So they come to a grocery store to get out, just to go out, and they converse with people. They may tell you the same story over and over and over again, but you know what? They're actually getting out and they're talking to you. And it's been the same since... they had bazaars out in, open markets and selling live chickens and kill them in front of you.
Hell yeah. Farmer's market, 24/7.
But, I mean, times change, things change. The reason things go up is because, people need more money, businesses need to do this and that. What also drives things up? You may think it's easier to put, something oh, I don't want this can of beans, I'm going to put it here. But guess what? When you take, a frozen item or a refrigerated item, it's I don't want this, I found something else, and put it on a shelf, that is now expired product, even though the date's fine, and that's shrink, which also drives up the cost of everything. So you assholes who fucking put ice cream on a non-frozen shelf anywhere and it melts... Guess what? If you're complaining while your milk prices are high, you're a fucking part of the reason because you're a dickhole because you made that ice cream go bad. That's why we need to make our milk prices higher. So you're the fucking problem, you fucking piece of shit. Also, when you're the asshole that comes in and be like, oh, I buy this every week. I buy a case of this every week. So, okay, I'll believe you because I'm a nice guy. I'll order it in for you. And that shit sits on the shelf and I don't order it for another 6 months and all of it goes outdated. That also drives up grocery prices because you're a fucking liar. And I hate you. You know why? Everyone that works at a grocery store, unless you're a fucking bagger or somebody, they are professionals at their job. I'm a professional at my job. You could be a lawyer and come in, and you can't tell me you know how to order that milk at 99 cents on sale, and you have to order it for thousands of people, and you can't run out, and you can't go over, because if you go over, then that's over, you've gone over on your budget, and so I have to order milk for thousands of people to put on their refrigerators, and I'm a professional. I don't fuck up.
We're talking about professionals here.
I don't go to your goddamn job and say, oh, you fucked up. You're an idiot. Because guess what? I'm a professional at my job, so you can't come in and to my job and tell me I'm a piece of shit. Because guess what? I've got milk on my goddamn shelf for you, and it's on sale, and I didn't run out. So you're an asshole. Even if you say a cashier is not a professional, you're a dumb shit. Because they stand there... you might think it's easy to run a cash register, but guess what? You'd be goddamn wrong because the cashiers are not only scanning your groceries, they're also carrying on a conversation with you and making sure it's rung up correctly, running your coupons, bagging them the way you want to, being cordial to you, and also getting everything 100% correct because you're watching them like a goddamn hawk, and they stand there in one square for 8 goddamn hours a day. That does not sound like an easy job to me. It sounds like a fucking shitty job to me. And any of you out there that complain about a cashier should be drug out in the street and gutted like a goddamn fish.
Oh, yeah. We're
Ladies
talking
and gentlemen,
about evisceration here, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the new asshole being ripped by Troy the Max Extreme for grocery stores. Jesus fucking Christ.
I was going to say, I thought Joel and I were ripping it up
Holy
pretty hard.
shit.
All right.
Troy, you okay? You need a breather here?
I still got
we
a little
can
bit
take
more.
a break. Jesus Christ.
And any of you, okay, if you go to any grocery store and you see anyone pulling a huge cart of groceries out or they're carrying like a big pallet with a big jack, don't just be like, oh, let me just cut in front of you really quick, because let me tell you, 1,000 pounds on a pallet jack is not easy to stop. I've had a whole huge cart of like just canned goods that probably weighed a half a ton run over the back of my heel because some guy was like, oh, let me just cut in front of you real quick. So I tried to put on the brakes and it runs over my heel, and I thought my fucking Achilles tendon snapped. And I about cried right there on the floor because somebody was like, oh, let me just cut off front of you here. Oh my God, I just wanted to rip
I hate
that
it when
person's
clowns
head
go
off.
in the grocery store.
And another thing that pisses me off, if you're in a and if you're in a check lane, get the fuck off your cell phone. Jesus Christ, I cannot say that enough. Like, you're worried about the prices going wrong, and you're watching your price like a hawk because you're a frugal shopper. And you get on your cell phone, and then we're trying to tell you, like, did you bring your own bags today? Do you have any coupons? Well, your total is $50. And you're all like, oh, yeah, Marcia, yeah, I did pick up this. Oh, hold on, this jerk's trying to tell me something. Guess what? You're the asshole, not us, for trying to tell you what your total is when you stood in line.
You know, I appreciate, and I've seen a couple of these, these posters in a store that say, we'll only help you when you're off your cell phone. I currently work in a jewelry store, and there's this customer who had walked in the door, and he was on his cell phone when he came in. And the place where I'm situated doesn't allow me to be like, hey, I'll sit here until he's off his cell phone. Like, it's like one-on-one because it's a small place. So I was standing behind the counter, and this guy talked on his cell phone for probably 20 minutes while I had to stand there and be like grinding gears and twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, what are you going to do, leave? Because if you leave here, he's going to be pissed. Like, hey, where are you going?
Exactly. Like, the minute I leave, the moment he gets off his cell phone, and then I leave, and then it's my fault. Retail is fucking bullshit, and I think all of it should burn down.
Shit. Well, I mean, I don't... Like, I was in food service. I'm going to say that for another time because we're really diving into grocery stores. So I'll say that for another time. But, yeah, I mean, no matter where you work, there's going to be shitty things about it.
I understand that.
Agreed.
There's always gripes about jobs. But, I mean, retail, it takes a special kind of person. Not everyone can be in retail. I mean, that's why people work in factories and, like, are farmers and, like, or other stuff. It takes... Like, you, Joel, Neil, and me, we're social people. We can get and work in retail and be successful at retail.
Exactly.
It takes a person that's not, like, a fucking idiot and can actually talk to people and relay and, like, know how a person needs to be talked to be able to make a sale.
Exactly.
The only problem is there's a lot of fucking morons out
Of
there.
course there are. There's going to be morons everywhere.
Okay, holy shit.
Speaking of...
Oh, god damn it.
Like, okay, I got another story. If you're looking for something in a grocery store, make sure you know what the fuck you're looking for. Case in point, there was an old gentleman that came into the grocery store, and a day before the day I had to make an order, per se. And he's like, oh, you don't got that yogurt in. And I'm like, oh, what kind of... it's on sale this week. We're running pretty low right now, but we'll have the rest of it in tomorrow when I make an order. Oh, okay. So he comes in the next day after I made an order. All my shipments come in. I fill the shelves because I knew he was coming back in. Oh, you don't got that yogurt. And I'm like, well, I'm standing right next to it, stocking it. Yeah, it's all right here. It's full. Oh no, the one in the big tubs. And I thought he meant like like Dannon has those big like 32-ounce things of yogurt.
Sure.
Nope, wasn't those either. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Over by the ice cream. Frozen yogurt? Yeah, I just call it yogurt. Okay, you fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck you call anything. Same story here. My boss was like talking to somebody, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for that gravy. I'm looking for a certain kind of gravy." Oh, okay. So he's looking at the gravy aisle. He's trying to help us find this shit for like 15 minutes. And he's like, "Oh, I don't see it anywhere. It's that stuff that you put in like help to make soup? You mean broth? Yeah, but I call it gravy." Like, again, you're a fucking idiot. Or if you come in and you're like, hey, I'm looking for corn, okay? Can you narrow it down? Because I got frozen corn, corn on the cob, I got canned corn, cream corn, I got a shit ton of corn. Yeah, I'm just looking for corn. All right, guy, you need to fucking just die because you're an idiot. Obviously, your wife just gave you a list and you've never been social in your whole life.
I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but I think we just did 20 minutes on grocery stores.
One more thing.
Oh, fuck.
If you're that bitch who comes in and needs a fresher date on milk, but you come in twice a week and get milk both times, you don't need a fresher date on milk. Milk is good a week past its expiration date, and a lot of the packages say that. This product is good 7 days after the printed date. So if you can't drink a whole gallon of milk in the 3 days that it came to take you to get another gallon of milk, I don't know what you're doing with it. I have no idea, because you're just a dumb bitch. And guess what? Another thing about expiration dates? You can't tell me that fucking Hunt's Tomatoes, they can a tomato, and that says it goes bad in 1 year and a month to the day. Tell me that's scientifically proven.
True that.
Tell me that they canned 1,000 cans of tomatoes, and they all knew they were going to go bad March 2014 to the day.
I was going to say March 21st, 2014. This will go instantly bad.
Yeah, midnight at that day, it's done for. Don't even eat it. Botulism's coming your way. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, none of that shit works like that way. Like, it'd probably be fine 6 months after you open it up.
Oh, and especially canned food.
Yeah.
You put it in bomb shelters for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's lasted
Even
a while.
eggs. I've heard a joke from like a guy who's a food inspector for the government that says like, oh, really whatever happens to the eggs, we really just repackage them and put new dates on them because eggs last forever and they have the lowest, like one of the lowest dates on them. Like,
It's true.
They come in, like we don't buy eggs now because we get them from dads who has like farm fresh chickens and all that shit, so we get our eggs.
Exactly.
But like when I buy eggs, if I have to buy them, I do not even keep the carton. They just like sit in my fridge until I use them, and they never go bad. Like I could have them not have eggs for like 2 months, but like the date that comes in on the thing is like maybe 2 weeks at the most.
It's true.
So be aware, everybody, of your shopping habits, because dates don't necessarily mean anything. They're a suggestion on when you should throw things away.
Exactly. Always test it to see, whether it's going to be good or bad. Just don't waste it, because wasting is terrible. Also,
Holy shit.
honey lasts forever.
It does.
This is a very grocery store rant-heavy episode.
That-
Anyway, we can be off grocery stores now. I think I got most of it
Holy
out.
shit. I'm going to have to put like a disclaimer on this one. Holy
The
fuck.
show might run a little long.
Holy shit. All right. Well, that's Troy on his grocery stores. Oh,
That was intense.
it was very intense. I was scared, actually.
All right, now that I've cooled off a little bit,
Jesus Christ, Troy. I think there's steam coming off of you.
I feel 10 pounds lighter. I don't know. But anyway, let's get off another subject here. Iron Man 3 trailer came out this week.
Oh, man.
Now, Neil, you just watched it.
I had just watched it on my
just watched
phone.
it.
Probably a couple. Well,
Now,
20 minutes
let's
ago,
get first thoughts of the Iron Man 3 trailer. Neil, go.
First thoughts on Iron Man Tree Trailer.
Tree.
Trailer.
Yep, that's exactly right.
In case, for all you people that are just tuning in, we have been drinking this wonderful Doppelbock Blonde.
Iron Man 3 trailer. Spectacular. Right off the get-go. Iron Man is in the history has been a very, I think, successful push into the new kind of Marvel movie kind of thing. And
Even superhero franchise.
oh
like,
my god, yeah, even superhero in general. I would say Iron Man, the first Iron Man, was one of the most spectacular superhero movies to come out like ever. Like it was awesome. I would still put it as like the top superhero movie. Like
I would agree with you.
holy cow, it was so good. Iron Man 3 trailer looks fantastic. Like, it's probably going to be one of the best trilogies ever. Like, not ever, but, best superhero trilogy. I mean, Spider-Man 3 was cool and all, but, I mean...
Oh, my God.
I actually just read an article that Sam Raimi apologized for that movie pretty much. But Iron Man 3 looked awesome. We've got the Mandarin, who is, like, that guy from the comics who's pretty much like Iron Man's arch enemy, like kind of that unknown arch enemy. And I'm glad that like Marvel movies are doing that, like, or not even Marvel movies, but superhero movies. Like in the first Batman Begins, like nobody knew who Ra's al Ghul was.
Yeah, unless you read
the comics, you had no idea.
Exactly.
And then they were like, "Holy cow, that's the enemy!" Like that rocked. And they did a fantastic Joker, and Bane was neat. Neat is the best word I can, I guess, describe.
I think they did a pretty good job with Bane.
I like Bane. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was different. I mean, like the thing I got out of the Iron Man 3 trailer the most is that there's a shit ton of like the one thing that I think they're doing the best is that they're giving villains distinct like accents
and looks.
Yeah, because like I remember like for so long like there'd be like the villains either had like just the voice that the actor came with, or they put like a British twang on it. So it'd be like, oh, that's how you know they're bad because they're British.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
no, I mean with the Joker, he had kind of like a Bronx, like he had a Bronx, but it was like kind of a higher pitched accent. So you knew if you heard that voice, that was the Joker. And the same with Bane. Bane, he's like more of like it's like kind of a British accent, but it's different. Like you can pull it out of if you hear like a group of people talking, and someone's like, "It's time to die." You know that's Bane, and that's what I loved about the Iron Man 3 trailer is that Ben Kingsley, the guy that plays Mandarin, he found a way to bring about like a voice that's not just menacing, but it's distinctive. Like you can pull that out of a crowd.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And that's what I like the most about. Like he has like that like you'll never see me coming.
Yeah, it's like
so
a weird. At first, I heard it, and I was like, "That's kind of a weird, like not like Bane weird." That's when I first heard that, but it was like, it's like a looming, creepy voice. And when I first heard that it was the Mandarin that was going to be the villain, I'm like, "Oh, like I don't know," because like when the Mandarin was first introduced in like Marvel Comics, like he was he was made in the 60s, like essentially right after World War II, so people were still like racist against like Asian people.
Well, I was hearing things about like putting Mandarin in the Iron Man comics, and there's a lot of people or in the Iron Man movies, and a lot of people were kind of against it because like the Mandarin is kind of considered like kind of like a far-fetched character when like Marvel's trying to do kind of more real life based characters.
Like more like grounded in
more grounded. And like Mandarin's kind of like I heard like Mandarin was kind of like the mythical powers of the East meets the mechanical of the West kind of thing.
Essentially, that's it. Yeah.
So like when people were talking about doing Mandarin for a character in the Iron Man movies, people were kind of against it because they were like, well, I can't see how that could be believable to put Mandarin in that. But seeing the trailer, like Mandarin kind of seems like a very like a really corrupt, insane like dictator of some kind of country. Like he's
or like an organization of
like he's got like I've seen like posters where he's wearing like camo pants. He's got the fucking like he's like the Top Gun sunglasses. Like he just seems like a total insane dictator, like a Saddam Hussein kind of asshole.
Like an Osama bin Laden or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I think that's the best way to portray like someone like that, where it's just someone coming from a different country. Like it just seems like a dictator who's trying to wage war on the U.S. and he has this firepower that they don't know what to stop. I think that's the best way to portray Mandarin.
And I would like to say that firepower that you're kind of talking of is you just don't know. Like I'm so glad they didn't give anything away in the trailer, and I know some movies will tend to do that, but like you actually have no idea what's up his sleeve. Like you see the explosions, and Iron Man has all these other Iron Mans behind him, and you're like, what has caused him to actually have all these, like, all this backup? Like, what does he need this for? You don't know yet, and that's awesome.
That's true. But the only thing is, like, I know it's the same argument I had like when Iron Man 2 came out and the trailer came out, and they ruined the surprise of like the suitcase suit in the trailer.
True.
And I was like, oh my god, that would have been so awesome to see like at the theater and not like before I saw it. And it was the same thing when I saw all those Iron Man suits flying. I'm like, oh shit, that's so awesome, but I wish I didn't see it till this other movie. Fuck.
It's true. But, like, Iron Man 2 was kind of, like, it was good, but, you know, you knew it was Iron Man, it had that quality, and it was awesome, but, like, it just didn't, it wasn't on
It wasn't
par
an
with
Iron Man 1.
It wasn't Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
And, like, Rourke did an awesome job, you know, doing, like, Whiplash, being, you know, that,
You'll lose.
You'll lose. And then as he's getting... As he's dragging away, he's getting like his boot falls off. Like it's hilarious.
You'll lose.
You'll lose. I would say actually Sam Rockwell was the showstopper when you did that dance on stage.
Sam Rockwell's hilarious in that.
Oh, you
shit.
want a bird? We'll get you a bird. You know.
I want my bird.
I want my bird.
My bird. Hey, man, do not get too attached to things.
Okay, Iron Man 2 was awesome.
Now that I think about it, Iron Man 2 is the
Iron Man
best
2 is
goddamn
awesome.
movie in the world.
Sam Rockwell was like, dude, how do you get a guy in there? You can't put. How is that a helmet? You try that on. Can you get that on your head? No. How is that a helmet? You can't get that on. No, they're drones. Like, it was awesome. Okay.
Drone better.
Drone better. You'll lose.
Alcohol makes Iron Man 2 better.
Yes, it's true.
Holy shit.
Okay, Iron Man 2 was pretty sweet. So, but like it wasn't on par with Iron Man 1, and you know Iron Man 3 is shaping up to be awesome. Even though I don't think Jon Favreau is directing it, is
No,
he?
he isn't. And I was kind of worried about that at first because he like him and Robert Downey have an awesome chemistry between each other, and I think they get each other and they click. And so when I heard, I can't remember what the name.
He's a pretty well known director. I
know
can't
he's
remember
done
what
other stuff, but
yeah,
I can't remember.
I
for the
can't
life
think of
me
what
right
he's
now.
done. I'll post it on the Facebook or whatever. I don't
But
know.
I was like, oh shit. Hopefully, like, because usually trilogies wrap things up, and I'm like, oh, why would they pick a different director to wrap it up? But I guess Iron Man, like, I know Robert Downey said, I'm going to continue to be Iron Man through different.
He loves the character.
Are they wrapping it up with this one? Is this the last Iron Man? Like,
As far as I know,
movie?
it's the last Iron Man movie, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in, obviously, in the other Avengers movies. He might have cameos in the other movies that are coming in, like, through phase 2 and 3 of the Marvel thing. But I really don't know if they're coming out with any more. I don't know if he signed, like, I'm assuming he signed a multi-picture deal, but I don't know if he signed on to do, like, you know, Iron Man 3, 4, 5, however many it takes, you know. I have no idea. Actually, I heard a rumor, because in the comic books, Iron Man has actually flown off, and joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is another big movie that has signed on for the Phase 3 of Marvel, which leads into Avengers 3. And so
I think that's going to be an interesting flick.
So I'm going to get to that in just a second. So rumors are that at the end of Iron Man 3, Iron Man leaves Earth, and you don't see him again until the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which is after Avengers 2. So you won't see him again for
2 or 3 years.
Like probably even more than that, because Avengers 2 isn't scheduled till 2015.
Oh, okay.
And so you probably won't even see him until like 2016, 17. And that was like,
Jesus Christ.
and so that makes it really hard to believe that would actually happen, because the Marvel movie universe is very dependent on Tony Stark, because he's the driving force. Because
Iron Man is like, well,
He kicked it off.
there's
really.
there's so many aspects around Tony Stark. I mean, he's like the comic relief. He's kind of, I don't know. I mean, like,
I want to say he's the most relatable character.
He is.
Really.
He is. I mean, like with if they're trying to make Captain America like the leader, it's really hard for them to do so, because Robert Downey Jr. is such a good actor that he pulls you in such a great way like that. I can't see it being like a movie where it's like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans that they're just. I don't think they can pull that off.
It's not going to have that funky. I mean, Robert Downey brings so much to it all. Like it makes it more fun, makes it light, makes it, you know.
And I think in reality, like you Captain America is like great in print and in cartoons and stuff. Like he's like that iconic guy, but in reality, like having someone who's just like above average, like doesn't necessarily have the qualities to drive all of that.
I mean that was the thing I didn't really like about the Captain America movie. I mean, he was a super soldier. I mean, he's the top peak physical human capabilities of any human. But what I liked about him in Avengers was he's a natural leader. Like that was my favorite part about the Captain America character. Like he could tell people what they needed to do and how they needed to do it, and they were like, "Oh, duh, of course. Why didn't I think of that?" Because he's a natural leader, and that's what I think his real superpower is. He is like a driving force. He's a natural, organized leader,
motivator,
all
of that.
Like,
But like the one thing about Captain America, like how I see it is that like our society has changed a lot from when Captain America was first introduced. So like I think with in the Captain America sense, he's always been considered like a goody two shoes. Like he does what's right and everything. But now our society has changed to a point where like we are attracted to the bad boys. Like we're attracted to people that will go like above, like will not stay in between the lines, so to say.
they're more of a gray.
Yeah. And I mean, like Marvel's doing a pretty good job of like maintaining Captain America's stance on like always being good, while also trying to make him attractive to audiences. But I think it's going to be difficult if you don't have like a Tony Stark or someone that's like, no, fuck that, and then just do what he wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's always those lines that people can't cross, or that Captain America won't cross till, because he's like the righteous hero and stuff that somebody who can really get down to the nitty gritty can actually, accomplish. And, a good way to put it is I just watched again the Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah,
where it kind of pushes him to that. And in Superman versus the Elite, it's a really good, actually, cartoon. One of the nice Warner Brothers animated cartoon movies that they're doing awesome on, by the way.
All of Warner's straight-to-DVD cartoons are fucking amazing.
Are just phenomenal. Yeah. But in Superman versus the Elite, there's that rule that Superman is not above the law and that he's that righteous guy, and he's not the executioner. He's not judge, jury, or executioner. And, that's his driving force because that's what he was grown up to believe, and all of that. And he has to, in order to defeat his enemy in the Elite, he has to make it seem as if he not giving anything away, make it seem like he's crossed his lines, because the only way he can beat these guys is
if he does go into that gray area.
If he goes into that gray area, and he has to. There are ways that he has to do that, and I mean, Captain America, like Superman is Superman, he can do everything, but it's hard to do that with just Captain America being given his skill set and all of that. So people like Tony Stark and Bruce Banner and all of those guys who can actually go to that level are helping him along. So I think anymore, I don't think they really need to do any more standalones with Captain America unless they're going to.
Well, they're doing a Captain America 2, the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier stuff. Okay,
but I don't know if they're going to do like a Captain America 3. I don't know. I really don't know how many picture deals like every actor's supposed to be in, so I have no idea. But you were bringing up like Captain America like being like good and all that stuff, and like now that I think of it, like I don't think like before like the turn of the century there, I don't think Captain America ever even held a gun, but they always said he was in World War II, which was obviously he's going to be holding a gun, and now it's only recently that it's been portrayed like knowing how to use like a machine gun and all that, like an AK or an M4 or something like that. Like
he's a pimp with a shield, bro.
Yeah, well I know he always had the shield, but like. He was in war. Like, you don't just win wars by, like, blocking bullets. You need to kill people. Like,
exactly, yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, you're a bad man. You should probably stop shooting at me.
Also, eat your vegetables. Bam, it hits him right in the mouth.
So, But, like, I like that. In Avengers, he actually was shooting a gun. In the Ultimate Comics, he shoots a gun. And I can't remember, like, I think a little bit before that, they did like a Captain America run where like it was right after 9/11. The comics, like I think they went to the Middle East, and I think he was using some weapons. I can't remember for sure, but
Yeah.
that's all. That's really all I had to throw in there.
Like realistically, he would have to, and that's kind of. It's cool that he was that guy. You know?
I mean, I know that he's a trained soldier. I mean, that's like his shtick. But like, I don't even think in the 40s and the 50s, I don't even think I ever remember seeing him like holding a gun.
He never held a gun. He was always giving that left hook to Hitler's face on the cover or something.
So yeah, but yeah, back I guess Iron Man 3 trailer.
Yeah,
is that
Iron
where
Man
we
3
started
trailer.
on?
That's where we started on.
That's how we go off topic.
Off topic.
But yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, "Holy shit, this is gonna be amazing!" Even though I was like, "Fuck, don't show the robots!" No, you showed all the
Even
other
though
Iron
you didn't
Man
know
suits.
there's robots coming, you're like, I hope they don't show a bunch of robots.
But I heard like way before like even they show the first trailer that golden suit that you see him a lot in the trailer and stuff is the Mark 47, and in Avengers he makes the Mark 7. So between Avengers and Iron Man 3, he had to make 40 more suits, and I'm like, well, what happened to those? Like, it'd be cool to see like what happened if like they were just test things, or like maybe it was like a space suit or like an underwater suit, or like the suit with roller skates or whatever from the comics or whatever.
Ice skates where they kind of cling their heels together and they come out.
Batman and Robin. Ugh.
Fuck that shit.
But anyway, I'm glad to see that it gets put to use. Like that's what I assumed was going to happen. Like he calls in like the cavalry and like a bunch of suits come out. But I just wish I wouldn't have saw it in the trailer. If I would have saw it in the theater, I would have been like, "Oh yeah!" and just like stood up. Sorry, I probably just spiked really big time on the. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Yeah, it's kind of high, but totally get what you mean. I hate revealing trailers, but in essence, to get the general public to like them,
I totally get it. And it didn't reveal any like really plot stuff. So
Well, what I heard, like in the very end, for all you people listening, if you watch the trailer, if like at the very end you see that big bulky one, I heard that's supposed to be like the Hulkbuster.
Oh, that makes
armor.
sense.
Yeah, which is completely cool. But you know what sucks? Like I heard that Mark Ruffalo isn't going to be back in any of the movies until Iron Man, Avengers 2. Like he's not going to have his own standalone movie.
That's what I heard too. That he wasn't going to have his own standalone movie.
Which I'm on the fence about because all the other movies have been like I liked a little bit of the Ang Lee movie and I liked the Edward Norton movie, but really like they're probably the weakest of the Marvel movies, the Hulk movies.
True.
Like I don't know why, but he can't just do his own standalone movie.
I think
It's
in
like
order
Wolverine.
to solidify Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, they need to just do at least one.
Maybe.
I mean, Hulk has enough enemies that he can have his own another
agree, but
standalone movie, right?
Like the point is, like he's just a brawler. Like I mean, when he's the Hulk, like you can't have a movie unless like man, it's so hard to describe, but like you can't draw it out much. Like once he has his Hulk out, and like that's what you're waiting for is
Yeah.
him to Hulk out, and once he does that, you're like, well, I'm spent. Give me a cigarette. Like,
But they did it really good in the Avengers.
they did it good in the Avengers. Like,
And in the Avengers, you had enough people to latch onto where you didn't need the Hulk the whole movie.
Exactly.
I mean, with Bruce Banner, I mean, the one thing I didn't like about the Ang Lee movie is that there's so much drawn out to get to the Hulk.
we can't even. We would need an entire another 2 podcasts to bash on the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
yeah.
So I wouldn't even
Look
like
out for
to
that.
doubt-
That and RoboCop.
Yeah,
We
the
need-
RoboCop one and the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
Oh my God! If there's a RoboCop one in, I want in.
Yeah,
All right.
we were gonna watch RoboCop and just like talk about how awesome it is.
Mystery Science.
Oh shit!
Well, it'll probably end up being that long because RoboCop is just that awesome.
This is gonna destroy in length of our last podcast. By the way, we're already at like holy
Yeah.
shit.
How long have we have gone so far?
Well, on here it says a minute 12 or an hour 12, but I'm gonna probably edit down for some of the dead spots and there's not too many dead spots, so it's probably like a minute, like an hour 12 right now.
Nice.
All right, well, Well, we should probably wrap it up a
We'll
little
probably-
bit.
Yeah,
Wrap
we'll
it up.
wrap
Do
it
you,
up
do you
here.
want to do the Mary Bang Kill, or just want to cut that for right now?
Well, why don't? No, we're gonna make it. We're
Let's
gonna
just
make it
do it.
every show.
we're
Mary
gonna
Bang
do
Kill.
it. Okay, we're gonna do the Mary Bang Kill right now. Troy, you had a really good idea for one. I'll let you introduce it.
Okay, my idea for the Mary Bang Kill this podcast is gonna be Hollywood train wrecks,
Oh
and
God.
it's Lindsay Lohan now,
Oh God.
Tara Reid now,
Oh God.
and Amy Winehouse pre-mortem.
Okay, thank God. I'm so glad we didn't have to dive into necrophilia there. Holy shit.
So I pass this one off to you, Joel, first.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, if you're into secondhand smoking, I guess that's pretty good. I mean, does any of these have like female? I don't
They
know.
all have female parts, I guess.
We
That's,
hope.
that's all.
We
That's
hope.
all. That's about it right
Shaky
now.
about Tara
Everyone
Reid,
has
but-
kind of.
I've seen her franken titties on the internet.
Oh God.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, oh shit. This is all put on me. I knew this was gonna happen, and I still can't think. Well, I think I'm gonna marry Amy Winehouse because I mean she's a singer. Singers seem to have like a lot of soul. Like they seem to like know. Like even though she had a shit ton of demons, I mean, so many that killed her. I mean, but I think, in all honesty, I think she kind of seems like the most, she seems the most down to earth. Holy shit.
It's true.
Strangely, I agree with you.
Yes. And, oh man, I don't know.
Honestly,
Probably-
you could flip a coin at this next part.
Probably bang Tara Reid because she seems hotter than Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan has a lot of freckles. I'm not a big freckle fan.
Okay.
So I'm going to bang Tara Reid, and I'm going to violently kill Lindsay Lohan.
You know, with me, I'm gonna have to almost be on par with Joel. You know, I'm gonna marry Amy Winehouse and just make sure I get it on her will for all of her money.
Oh, there you
Because
go.
I know she's probably gonna croak soon.
Holy shit.
Oh, too soon.
We are not holding back, people. On topic.
And then I guess I'll marry Tara Reid and Jiggy with
Wait, marry?
Lindsay Lohan.
Wait, what? So you're killing him? What?
Oh
are you doing?
no! Wait, we're not marrying. We're not marrying too. I'm killing Tara Reid. I'm
Killing
killing
Tara
Tara
You're
Reid.
gonna
Killing Tara Reid.
kill Tara Reid.
I'm killing her.
All right, so I guess it's off to me.
Yeah.
All right, Troy. Charlie Brown shirt. Get on this.
You know, I always had a thing for Lindsay Lohan when she was like an actual redhead and like hot and voluptuous.
She
Mean
still is a
Girls,
redhead.
like Mean Girls.
Mean Girls Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
She was
see,
hot
I
then.
haven't seen Mean Girls yet. Maybe I'll have to watch that.
Well, it's only been out for like 1,000 years, so you
Well-
should probably get on it.
Mean Girls doesn't really apply to poor guy.
Well, whatever.
But that's not a good joke. That's a
But
terrible
anyway, she's not at that point now. She's like skinny, blonde, weird, freckled crack whore. And so I'm going to have to go. I think I'm going to go with you guys and marry Amy Winehouse. Because she seemed like she did have it going on, and then she's like totally fucked up and died.
joke. Yeah.
Well, not yet. And then I've never liked Tara Reid in anything, so I'm just gonna fucking kill her. And I'll probably bang Lindsay Lohan, even though she's got some fucking weird shit going on. So
Been to rehab. Hates her dad. Hates her mom. Hates her life. You know.
then
Yeah,
there you
whatever.
go. So that's my
I
answer.
don't see how she hasn't died and Amy Winehouse is not alive.
I'm with you on that. So I think
That's
I
probably
agree.
a terrible thing to
I think
say.
you said the exact same thing.
I'm exactly with you, but you know.
All right, well, there you go. You kind of got like
Only the good die young.
So, Amy Winehouse, I can't see why you should have just held on for a little bit longer because you could have had these 3 beefcakes
There you go.
all upon you.
Even though I thought she was probably the least attractive
Yeah,
of all
she's
of them.
definitely the least attractive.
Yeah, she's at least attractive.
That messed up beehive haircut that she had and the fucking nasty
I'm sure
ass
if
eyes.
she let that shit down, she would have been hot.
I
I'm
bet
saying.
you'd probably look nappy as shit. I don't know.
I'm
It'd
just
look-
saying.
And
I'm
her
thinking
teeth. Wasn't she British or something? She probably a
I
nasty.
think she
ass
was
teeth.
British.
teeth don't care that much. Jesus Christ.
You're drunk. You are
I'm
drunk.
pretty drunk.
Teeth matter.
I've been.
okay?
I'm
should
drunk
we-
on your
How about-
fucking.
You know what? We have a special guest in the house.
We have a special guest.
Sarah Gaber, my girlfriend.
Sarah
Whoop,
Gaber.
whoop, raise the roof.
Hey, Mary Bang Kill. Give her the microphone. Let's
Mary
hear what
Bang
she'd
Kill.
say.
Sarah Gaber.
Okay, well, I've always liked Tara Reid, so screw you guys. So, I think she's cute. I would marry her.
All right.
For sure. She'd be like the funniest person to hang out with, I think. I'd have to bang Amy Winehouse, even though that's
This is-
probably going to end up...
Postmortem. We talked about postmortem
talking
here.
about-
Yeah, but I'm talking... I'm
Pre-mortem.
Yeah. We're not going to fuck dead bodies, Neil. Jesus
talking
Christ.
about, like,
She's alive.
STDs wise.
true.
She's
I
probably
think-
the most loaded.
I honestly
Did
think
she bang a lot of guys?
I think they're all pretty loaded with STDs,
Okay.
but
I want to meet the guys that fucked Amy Winehouse.
But I think that actually Tara Reid, in my mind, would have the most diseases.
I'm going to say that too.
I think that's a good thing. That's
she had like cougar claw tits.
let's have Sarah continue. She's on the right track.
Oh,
She,
well- really is.
Okay, it's okay. And then kill Lindsay Lohan. That's it.
she killed Lindsay Lohan.
I killed Lindsay Lohan because
That's okay. She's
I
near
agree.
death anyways.
Mean Girls, Lindsay Lohan was where it's at, and then after that, scary,
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
So kill her.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
But I would marry Tara Reid. Okay, I'm out.
Thanks, Sarah Gaber. That was Sarah Gaber.
Sarah
that's Neil Potter's
Gaber.
girlfriend.
That's right, everybody.
All right. So anyway, that was our show this week.
That's our show. Neil, you got anything to plug?
You know, I don't have anything to plug except for my existence here.
All right.
Off topic.
Look out for Neil Potter. He's
I'm
around there.
Hey,
Dinosaur Neil. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Dinosaur Neil. If you didn't know, the cutting room floor is out for sale. You know, the movie we made.
Look that up.
Actually, 2 of the movies were sponsored in the Julian Film Festival this week. Cutting room floor and the cutting room floor Murder Party, which was Murder Party and Tagged and Murder Party were nominated for the Julian Film Festival this year. So we've got
nice.
2 entrants.
Well, very good.
Very
You were
nice.
in both of those.
No, I wasn't in. Well, I wasn't. Actually, I wasn't tagged. I was a body double for Dave Tucker.
There you go.
But also, so was Sarah Gaber. So that shows. That
Well, there you
shows.
go.
You know what's going on. Gosh, I mean, convincing she's not even white, and you know her.
Dave Tucker is a multifaceted body double.
Oh, yeah,
He
exactly.
is. He's
So,
just
so we're hoping. I guess we'll find out in April how those things are going. So
Very
we'll,
good.
we'll
Yeah.
let people know. when
Everyone
these
check
are.
out Cutting Room Floor. It's available at Tammy's Piggly Wiggly and just
Mindframe Theaters
and
in
Mindframe
Dubuque.
Theaters and just
And,
and find Cutting Room Floor on Facebook.
Any of the actors will
Ma-
probably
yeah,
get you hooked up to.
If you can't find anything, message the off topic Facebook. I will find a way of getting you a
Yep.
copy. It's a good movie. I'm in it.
Splunk.
Troy's in it.
Yep, we're all in it.
We're all in it.
We're all in it. Look for it. Troy, you got anything to plug?
I'm going to plug my blog again. shortofthemaxextreme.blogspot.com. I try to update it once a week. If I don't, I try to do it twice the next week. And then you
Fair.
can find me. I help run the Off Topic Facebook page. Also, PKP Films. Check them out on the internet. I just
Yes.
filmed a Ghost Hunter Dave episode,
Yep.
which should be out pretty soon. The trailer just came out, so check them out. They're good. They're good people.
Good group.
What's their website? Their website is wearepkp.com.
PKP.com.
All right, I'll
We
put a
are.
link on the Facebook if you can't find it. I'll put a link on there. If you don't want to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Off Podcast. The only follower we have right now is Paul. So I'm not going to put too much shit on there. But if we see that we're getting more people on there, I will definitely put more shit on there. Most definitely.
Sweet deal.
You plugging anything, Joel?
That's all I'm plugging. I got shit. Eshelman's Pottery.
There you go, man.
We got it.
Buy that.
Pottery.
Buy some
have
plates.
I have a hand in that shit. Buy some cups. Buy some plates.
All right.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
All right,
great.
Neil. Thank you so much for
Thanks
joining
for having
us.
me, guys. I'd
You
like to be on
guys,
again
you
sometime.
are.
No problem.
This is this is ridiculously fun. This was so much fun.
All right.
Next to that, and Troy ranting about grocery stores, I think we have a pretty good show on our hands.
All right.
All right, for Neil and Troy, I'm Joel, and stay off, everybody.